유난히도 캄캄한다면 나 홀로 너를 생각하네. 이런 기분 설명할 수 없어. 원래 이맘쯤 너와의 여행을 생각했었는데 yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good day everybody, magandang araw po sa ating lahat and welcome to Fundamentals of Accountancy, Business and Management Part 2 Special Lesson, Senior High School Constructive Accounting Part 5, and we will be talking about all financial statements. At the end of the video, you should be able to prepare a comparative statements of financial position, statements of comprehensive income, statements of changes in equity, and statements of cash flow. So this is a special lesson which will teach you how to prepare all financial statements coming from trial balance or trial balances. Okay, so before anything else, may I please ask you to like, share, and subscribe to Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. And for all of your questions, comments, and suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And for webinar and speakership invites and any message that you want to send to me, please send me a message at kevintroy.chua1994@gmail.com. Okay, so thank you for your utmost support, and may these videos continue to help students in their online learning and academic development, and may these videos continue to help teachers in enhancing their lesson plans and teaching methodologies. Again, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng estudyante na nagko-comment na nakakatulong po yung ating video lessons in this channel, and nagpapasalamat din po ako sa lahat ng teachers na gumagamit po ng Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH, more so today that we are in online learning for the COVID-19 pandemic. Maraming salamat po for your support at maraming salamat po for trusting Sir Chua and entrusting my videos to your students. Muli po, maraming salamat po. Okay, so let's have some shout outs from the commenters, from students who are using Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. And let's see kung ano po yung mga sinabi nila. First of all, from Francine Cassie, thank you po sir, super linaw ng explanations. Maraming salamat po, ang Panginoon po nagbibigay sa atin ng kalinawan. Okay, and also to Yushen Vilbar, did I pronounce your name correctly? Thank you, it's very helpful. Thank you rin po that you find my channel very helpful. And then thank you daw po from Nicole Pajes. Also from Ford Laksamana, hello sir, I'm an upcoming ABM student, super helpful ng mga tutorials nyo po. God bless. Maraming salamat po for using Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH for your advanced learning. I hope na you can be the accounting wizard of your class in the use of my channel. Also from Michael Jovakin, this is very helpful sir. Nakita ko na finally paano yung analysis plus accounting equation mag-work. Natutuwa po ako sa mga comment na very specific ng natututunan nyo sa aking channel. So maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta again and again. And natutuwa po ako na lalo na pag yung comments nyo very specific, talagang nagigets ko kung ano yung nagigets nyo. Okay, and then ayan, same commenter, Jimin. So siguro ano to, army. Kasi may purple heart siya at natuwa siya sa paggamit ng name ni Jimin. Thank you again sir, and we really need more accounting educators like you. Maraming salamat po for trusting me. And then Yishtu, I am very excited in this lesson sir. Thank you for discussing it clearly. Ang Panginoon po ang nagbibigay sa atin ng kalinawan tsaka ng wisdom. Sa Kanya lang po lahat ng credit. Thank you Sir Chua. I've learned a lot. Keep it up, from Patricia Estrella. And then we also have from Ralox Artuge, the best ka sir. God bless po. Muli po, maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta sa Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. Okay, so as a thank you for all of you for supporting this channel, I'll give you a small freebie. So since tapos na nating i-discuss lahat ng financial statements, financial position, comprehensive income, changes in equity, and cash flows, and this is just a culmination lesson. So I am giving you a periodical examination reviewer that covers all financial statements, and the link for you to be able to download that freebie is available in the description box. Yan po ay periodical examination reviewer for all of the financial statements that we have talked about so far. Muli po, maraming salamat and feel free to download. Again, the link is available in the description box. Okay, so in the last lesson, we learned about the differences between operating, investing, and financing activities of companies. And its effect on cash inflows and cash outflows. And then we also did some calculations regarding the statement of cash flows and how to prepare them in the direct method and the indirect method. And we also solved some accounting problems about the statement of cash flows. Okay, so we are still on financial statements, and again, the purpose of financial statements is to give us information about the entity's financial position, financial performance, and cash flows. And it's available for a wide range of users in making economic decisions. That's under International Accounting Standard 1, Presentation of Financial Statements. So financial statements gives us information about assets, liabilities, equity, income and expenses, gains and losses, contributions by and distributions to owners in their capacity as owners, and cash flow. So all of those elements of financial statements are helpful for the users of accounting information for them to be able to make good economic decisions. Okay, so let's now review the flow of financial statements preparation. In Fundamentals of Accountancy, Business and Management 1, this has already been discussed with you. Ano po ba yung flow at tamang paraan ng pagpe-prepare ng financial statements? Ano po yung inuuna at ano po yung connections ng apat na financial statements? So if you want to review how to prepare financial statements, syempre balikan nyo lahat ng videos natin from Statement of Financial Position and then Comprehensive Income, and then yung ating changes in equity and cash flows. And then meron din po tayong discussion ng financial statements for a sole proprietorship type of business dun po sa ating FABM2, if you will remember yung ating pong Landing on You Travel Services Company. But now I will be giving you a review of that flow of the preparation of financial statements. The very first financial statement that we prepare is the income statement. So you put the heading and then the name of the statement, and always remember that the income statement has the elements of revenue and gains and expenses and losses, and then we deduct revenues and expenses with each other, and we get the net income of the company. Okay, the next one that we prepare in the financial statements is the statement of changes in equity, or the capital statement. Okay, so the capital statement starts with the beginning capital, and then we add any investments by the owner, and then we add the net income. Saan po manggagaling yung net income na nire-report natin sa capital statement? It comes from the net income from the income statement. So the interconnection between the capital statement and the income statement is the net income coming from the income statement. Okay? And then we deduct any withdrawals made by the owner, and that's your ending capital balance. When you have already prepared your capital statement, you're ready to prepare your balance sheet. So remember that your balance sheet includes all of the assets, liabilities, and capital, and it is a structured representation of your accounting equation. Now, the capital that we report in the balance sheet is the capital balance that is adjusted coming from the statement of changes in equity. Okay? After you have prepared your balance sheet, then you're ready to prepare your statement of cash flows. We report the operating, investing, and financing activities of the company, and then always remember that the cash balance at the end of the period should correspond with the cash balance as reported in the statement of financial position. So, the interconnectivity of the capital statement and the income statement is net income. The connectivity or the connection between the balance sheet and the capital statement is the ending capital balance. And the connection between the cash flow statement and the balance sheet is the ending balance of cash. Okay, so that's the most basic flow of financial statements preparation. Whether you are preparing financial statements for a large multinational company or you are preparing a financial statement of a small company, that's how we properly prepare, or that's the flow of financial statements. And I think we're ready to start. So please download Special Handout 001. The link is available in the description box. Special Handout 001 gives you dalawang trial balance po. Trial balance ng 2020 tsaka trial balance ng 2019. Kasi we will be preparing financial statements na comparative. Ibig sabihin po ng comparative, magkatabi. Yung 2020 tsaka 2019. You are also given there other information, and then the requirement is yun nga po, gagawa tayo ng financial statements. Okay, so please download Special Handout 001. Okay, so wag kayong mabibigla. Pause nyo muna yung video kung di nyo pa na-download kasi I'm describing it right now. Okay, actually the handout is giving you a trial balance na medyo mahaba. Okay? So, but I hope that sa mas mahihirap na lesson kasi tayo mas matututo ng mas matindi. Okay? So, I hope that this will be able to help you in your FS preparation style. Okay. So, we will be preparing all financial statements covering 2 accounting periods, which is 2020 and 2019. And the purpose of this lesson is actually to teach you how to prepare financial statements po na comparative. Yun nga po, magkatabi po yung 2 taon. This, however, is only a recommended way on how to solve problems on FS preparation. So, depende rin po kasi talaga sa accountant at sa company kung anong technique niya, kung paano mabubuo yung FS. Well, in actual accounting practice, the financial statements of the previous year is already prepared and is presented together with the current accounting period financial statements. Baka po kasi iniisip nyo, let's say for example, first year ng company in 2019, tapos second year ng company in 2020 lang ba sila gagawa ng FS? Hindi po. Okay? So, gagawa sila ng FS ng 2019. So, syempre, i-release na nila yun ng 2019. Pagdating po ng second year ng company ng 2020, 2 na po yung naka-report na financial statements. Magkatabing 2020 tsaka 2019. Pagdating ng third year ng company, 2021, ang i-release naman po nila 2021 at tsaka 2020. Okay? So, lagi pong comparative information. Okay? So, I hope you understand. Depende po sa accountant at depende sa company kung paano po nila binubuo yung financial statements. So, depende sa kanilang productivity, depende sa kanilang efficiency, methodologies. But what we are preparing here and what we will be presenting here is just a recommended way on how to prepare financial statements, lalo na kung 2 trial balance yung binigay po sa inyo. Okay. So, in this problem, we will have 2 assumptions. Number 1 assumption is that we are using the sole proprietorship type of business. Bakit po sole proprietorship? Para simple lang yung ating equity balances and statement of changes in equity. Kasi pag gumamit tayo ng partnership, magdi-division of profits pa tayo. Okay? Maraming capital balances. Pag gumamit naman tayo ng corporation, una sa lahat, hindi pa naman talaga natin na-discuss yung partnership and corporation extensively. And if we will be using corporation, yun po ay masyadong complex kasi mag-uusap pa tayo ng share capital, mag-uusap pa tayo ng share premium, mag-uusap pa tayo ng retained earnings. So, the sole proprietorship type of business is used for its simplicity. However, allow me to do the next flexibility of the assumption that we have here, which is the income statement presented the use of a 30% tax rate applicable pang corporation. So, parang pinaghalo ko siya. Sole proprietorship, pero yung tax rate na ginamit ko pang corporation. This is used in order for you to know na in reality po, nagbabayad talaga tayo ng tax. Okay? So, only to present net income after tax payments in the calculation para lang makita nyo na nagbabayad ng tax ang isang company. Okay? Pero, in reality, there are different rules and there are different tax rates and methods kung sole proprietorship ka or corporation ka. And that will be discussed with you in higher accounting and when you are already having your taxation subjects. Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin na maling-mali kasi parang mali namang sabihin maling-mali. Pero sa totoo lang po kasi, ang 30% tax rate ay ginagamit lang po talaga for corporate entities. Kaya nga po ang tawag dun sa 30% tax rate natin sa Pilipinas ay corporate income taxation. However, for presentation purposes, allow me to do this flexibility, lalo na po sa mga teachers, allow me to do this flexibility na for simplicity purposes, ang ginamit ko po ay sole proprietorship. Pero para makita po ng mga estudyante na ang isang company ay nagbabayad po ng tax, ang ginamit ko yung corporate income tax na 30%. But in reality, magkaiba po ang tax rates at tax methods, calculations kapag ka po sole proprietorship and corporation. So, dyan lang po dapat tayo magkalinawan. Okay? We have these two assumptions, and these two assumptions are already mentioned as well sa inyo pong solutions, at mamaya po natin pag-uusapan kung ano yung binabanggit kong solutions na magiging available sa inyo. Okay, dami kong sinabi, di ba? Let's start. Step 1. Una pong step, so habang dinidiscuss po natin dito sa video, I hope that you are able to look sa inyo pong handout, kasi hindi nyo siya masusundan ng maayos kung di nyo hawak yung handout. Mas maganda po kung may separate kayong tablet na hawak nyo yung handout, o di po kaya na-print nyo yung handout, o di po kaya may separate PC or may separate phone po kayong gamit para po masundan yung solution versus yung trial balance. Okay? Ang gusto ko po kasing ituro sa inyo dito is yung mga previous examples po kasi natin. Like for example, sa statement of financial position. Given na lahat ng statement of financial position account titles, i-arrange mo na lang. Pero hindi talaga natin alam yung pinanggalingan. Same with how we did it in the capital statement, in the comprehensive income, in cash flow. May problem na i-construct mo na lang. Ang gusto nating i-achieve dito, talagang galing siya sa trial balance. Ano yung dapat nyong gawin para mabuo yung mismong FS. Okay? So, I hope na magigets nyo to and sundan yung mabuti yung trial balance na hawak nyo sa handout. Okay, so step 1. Prepare the 2019 notes to financial statements on income statement elements. Babalik po kayo sa natutunan nyo sa lesson natin sa Statement of Comprehensive Income. Ang una natin gagawin is yung notes to financial statements natin na related po sa income statement. 2019 lang po muna, so ang titignan yung trial balance is for 2019. We will use note number 11 for net sales. So, kunin nyo po yung gross sales and then i-deduct nyo po yung sales returns and allowances and sales discount to get your net sales. Okay? So, your net sales should be 8,910,000. Paki-confirm po kung tama, dapat yung gross sales nyo is yung sales na nakalagay dyan, which is 9 million. And then, sales returns and allowances na 40,000 and sales discount na 50,000. Okay, then we proceed with net purchases. So, kukunin nyo lang din po sa trial balance yung gross purchases. Add po natin yung freight in. Another term for freight in is transportation in. Okay, that's your total purchases, and you deduct your purchase returns and allowances and purchase discount to get your net purchases. When your net sales and net purchases are ready, you can proceed with note number 13, which is your cost of goods sold. Now, if you would notice, the inventory at the beginning of the year is 0. It's because this is the first year of the company's operations. So basically, they don't have a beginning balance of inventory. Now, if you are wondering kung 0 to sir, ano po yung nakalagay na inventory dun sa bandang taas ng trial balance, that is the inventory at the end of the period. Okay? End of period po yan kasi ang hawak nyo adjusted trial balance na eh. At pag sinabing adjusted trial balance, dumaan na po tayo sa lahat ng transactions, pati ng adjustment. Diba? Okay, so you add the net purchases from note 12, which is 4,990,000, and that is your cost of goods available for sale. We deduct the inventory at the end of the period. Saan po makukuha yung 2,700,000? Coming po yan doon sa trial balance natin on 2019 na inventory balances natin, na inventory on albums and inventory on merchandise. Okay? And that is your cost of goods sold amounting to 2,290,000. After cost of goods sold, you can also prepare now your note for operating expenses. Lista nyo lang po lahat mula transportation out hanggang depreciation expense. Huwag nyo po munang isama yung income tax expense or yung payment po natin for income tax. Huwag nyo munang isama kasi may separate calculation po tayo para sa income tax expense. Okay, so if you get the total of all operating expenses for 2019 except for the income tax expense, that should be 1,535,000. When you have already prepared the notes on income statement elements for 2019, which is your net sales, net purchases, cost of goods sold, and operating expenses, then we proceed with step 2. And your step 2 is to prepare the 2019 statement of comprehensive income. Okay, so your net sales is 8,910,000 coming from note number 11. Cost of goods sold is 2,290,000 coming from note 13, and you deduct both of them, which will give you a gross profit of 6,620,000. Saan po manggagaling yung other income? Bisitahin po uli yung ating trial balance. May makikita po kayo dong other income na 300,000 to give you a total revenue of 6,920,000. I-deduct po natin lahat ng operating expenses galing po sa computation natin sa note 14 na 1,535,000, and our net income before tax is 5,385,000. Dito po papasok yung assumption natin na 30% tax rate po yung ginamit natin. Although yun nga po, sole proprietorship po ito. Pero let's allow some flexibility for presentation purposes. You multiply 5,385,000 and the income tax expense is 1,615,500. If you multiply the net income before tax of 5,385,000 to 30%, tignan nyo po ngayon sa trial balance, dapat yung income tax expense nyo rin po sa trial balance noong 2019 ay 1,615,500. Dapat pareho lang po yun nasa trial balance. Okay? And then you deduct both net income after tax, or we can simply refer to it as net income. Ibig sabihin talagang endpoint na yan, lahat na bawas na, pati tax, 3,769,500. Okay? So that's your income statement for 2019. Anong sabi natin kanina sa flow of FS preparation? Pag meron na tayong 2019 Statement of Comprehensive Income, pwede na tayong dumiretso ng capital statement. So our third step is to prepare the 2019 Statement of Changes in Equity. Okay, and here it is. Now, the capital at the beginning of the year is 0 because it is the first year of the company's operations. And if you look at the other information, it was told there that the owner has invested 9,300,000 worth of cash to open the business. Okay? And then coming from the income statement for 2019, your net income, which you will add, is 3,769,500. And then we deduct the withdrawals of 130,000. You can see this also in the trial balance for 2019. For a capital adjusted balance of 12,939,500. And that's your statement of changes in equity for 2019. Beginning capital plus investment plus net income less withdrawals. That's your capital at the end of the year. And remember na yung capital at the end of 2019 is the capital at the beginning of 2020. Again, the capital at the end of 2019 is the capital at the beginning of 2020. Now, before proceeding to our balance sheet, dahil meron pa tayong 2020, my recommended step for step 4 is to prepare the 2020 notes to financial statements on income statement. Wag muna tayong aalis ng income statement tsaka capital statement. Okay? So, notes naman po for 2020. Now, when you are preparing notes for 2020, make sure that your notes to financial statements are also comparative. Okay? So, it will look like this na. Yung 8,500,000 minus 20 dyan, yan po yung 2020. Ito naman po yung 2019. Hindi ko lang po nalagyan ng label dito na 2020, 2019. Pero lalagyan nyo ng label kasi mahirap yung walang label. Okay. Okay, so ganun din po. So, since ito po yung 2020 at ito po yung 2019, ganun din pong proseso. So, dito sa 2020, kukunin nyo galing sa ang trial balance. Trial balance ng 2020, syempre. Okay? So, your gross sales is 8.5 and then sales returns and allowances and sales discount, which will give you your net sales. Same process that we do for net purchases. Gross purchases and then your freight in, that's your total purchases, then purchase returns and allowances and purchase discount. Again, kukunin nyo lang din po yung information from the 2020 trial balance and then itatabi nyo po yung 2019 information para magmukha siyang comparative. After you have prepared your note on net sales and net purchases, you proceed with note number 13, cost of goods sold. Eto na po yung trick ngayon. Tingnan yung mabuti. Inventory at the end of the period is ito pong 2,700,000. The inventory at the end of the year is the beginning inventory of the next accounting period. Okay? Wag po kayo malilito dyan ha. The ending inventory of the previous accounting period is the beginning inventory of the next accounting period. Okay? And then you add the net purchases that you have from note number 12. That's your cost of goods available for sale. And then inventory at the end of the period is 2,750,000. Saan po nakuha yung 2,750,000? Yun pong ating inventory on albums and merchandise naman po sa trial balance natin nung 2020. Again, yung inventory balances po natin na nakalagay dyan sa ating trial balance ay ending balances. Okay? To give you a cost of goods sold of 3,680,000. Then, same way din po gagawin natin sa operating expenses. Wag pong isama yung income tax expense kasi kukumputin pa po natin siya. Okay? So, your operating expenses should total 2,017,000. Our step 5 is to prepare the comparative statement of comprehensive income for 2020 and 2019 and it looks like this. Ayan. Comparative na siya. And then same procedure. Net sales, less cost of goods sold, gross profit, add other income. Again, you can get this in your trial balance other income na account for 2020. Then this is your total revenue, less operating expenses, net income before tax, and then you try to multiply again 30% sa inyong net income before tax na 3,263,000 and your income tax expense should be 978,900. Now, if you look at the trial balance for 2020, the income tax expense should also be 978,900. And your net income after taxes is 2,284,100. So, sa isang financial statements, check na tayo sa comparative FS ng Statement of Comprehensive Income. Tapos na tayo sa income statement. So, anong kasunod? Since tapos na tayo sa income statement, we can now proceed to your statement of changes in equity na comparative information. And it looks like this. Okay, so, in 2019, again, uulitin lang natin, zero to kasi kakaumpisa pa lang ng business in 2019. Kaya nagkaroon ng investment by the owner, inad natin yung net income ng 2019, and then dineduct natin yung withdrawals ng 2019, and this is the capital at the end of the period. Now, this is the trick. The capital at the end of 2019, which is 12,939,500, is the capital at the beginning of 2020. And now, tignan nyo ngayon sa inyong trial balance 2020. Pag tinignan nyo yung capital balance dyan, tignan nyo yung nakalagay, 12,939,500. Kasi as you know, ang adjusted trial balance, kahit sabihin natin adjusted yan, yung capital hindi pa talaga adjusted sa mga nangyari nung panahong yun. Kasi nga, i-add pa lang natin by that point in time yung net income tsaka withdrawals. Okay? So, kung titignan nyo yung trial balance nyo ng 2020, ang capital dyan nakalagay 12,939,500. Diba? Okay. So, according to other information, wala naman pong investment by the owner na additional noong 2020. So, we simply add the net income coming from our statement of comprehensive income, which is 2,284,100, and then your withdrawals of 200,000. Makikita nyo rin po yan sa trial balance. And the adjusted capital, At the end of the period is 15,023,600. So, naka-check na po tayo sa pangalawang financial statement, which is Statement of Changes in Equity. Dahil ready na po yung ating capital balances, we're ready to prepare the balance sheet. But before preparing the balance sheet, ang ihahanda po muna natin is lahat po ng notes to financial statements on our balance sheet elements. Okay. So, ganito po gagawin natin dyan, ha? Ang focus na po natin ngayon, since sabay na natin gagawin, 2020 and 2019, pag tinignan nyo ngayon, yung trial balance nyo, sabay na din. Okay? Trial balance ng 2020 tsaka 2019, sabay nyo nang titignan. Note number 3, cash and cash equivalents. Ang kasama po sa cash and cash equivalents ay yung cash on hand ng company, and then cash in bank, yung pera daw po nila sa bangko, at saka yung revolving fund. Ano po yung revolving fund? For example, ang company naman po kasi, kunyari, kailangan nila magbayad ng mga small expenses. It's impracticable for a company na magbayad ng maliliit na expenses na manggagaling pa sa cash in bank nila, yung babayaran nilang expenses. Kaya nagsaset sila ng separate fund na tinatawag nating revolving fund. Okay? So, ganun din po ang procedure. This is your 2020 balances and these are your 2019 balances, and present your notes on a comparative way. Okay? So, your total cash for 2020 is 5,909,500 and for 2019 is 3,890. Okay? Next on our list is trade and other receivables. So, kukunin nyo po yung trade accounts receivable sa trial balance. Isama nyo po dun yung other receivables. This is for your 2020. This is for your 2019. For 2020, 1,280,000. And for 2019, 1,160,000. We proceed with note number 5, which is merchandise inventory. So, kukunin nyo po yung dalawang uri ng inventory na meron yung company, which is albums and merchandise. For 2020, it's 2,750,000. And for 2019, it's 2,700,000. And then, next is our prepayments and other current assets. So, lahat po ng prepayments and all other na current assets natin. So, prepaid rent, prepaid insurance, office supplies, and store supplies. For 2020, it's 410,000, and for 2019, it's 640,000. Again, for 2020, it's 410,000, and for 2019, it's 640,000. Okay, and then this is your notes to financial statements for property, plant, and equipment. Sir, teka, parang nalula naman kami dito. Okay, huwag kayong malula dyan, no? In preparing the notes to financial statements for our property, plant, and equipment, make sure that you have the proper columns on all of the kind of property, plant, and equipment that you have. The company owns a land, an automobile, an equipment, and a furniture, but the thing is, we only report the total at the face of the financial statements. Okay? We only report their total. So, what happens is that your equation would be like this. The beginning balance, and then you add all additions during the year and all retirements during the year. When you say retirement, talagang hindi na ginamit or tapos niya yung useful life niya o di po kaya binenta. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi nating retirement. Okay? And that's your balance at the end of 1 year. Tapos, yung susunod na year, ganun lang din po uli. I-add natin lahat ng additions and i-deduct natin lahat ng retirements. And that's your balance again for another year. Now, sa So, sa lahat po ng 2019 natin, lahat po siya i-treat nyo not as beginning balances, ha. Hindi nyo po siya ilalagay dito sa beginning balance kasi kabibili pa lang natin. So, lahat ng land, automobile, equipment, at furniture, ilalagay nyo sa additions during the year kasi dun pa lang siya binili. Okay? And then, wala naman tayong retirements at hindi pa tayo mag-uusap ng retirements kasi pang higher accounting yun. So, your balances at December 31 are these amounts. Now, if you will be looking on other information, sinabi po doon na bumili yung company ng additional land worth 1,500,000 at additional furniture na 80,000. That's the time you will include it sa additions. Okay? So, the balances, by that point in time, ito naman po yung for 2020. However, again, we only report what's the total in the face of the financial statements. Now, if you would notice, dito naman po sa baba, accumulated depreciation. And bakit po blanco dito? Remember, ang land po ay hindi dinidepreciate. So, wala kayong depreciation information sa land. Okay? So, ganun din po ang nilalagay nyo dito. Kung ano yung depreciation expense natin, yun na yung balance at the end of the first year. I-add nyo yung depreciation expense ng 2020. Yun naman ang accumulated depreciation by 2020. Okay? Then get the total. Sir, ano ngayon tong carrying amount? Balik tayo sa konsepto ng depreciation. So, kung medyo nalilito kayo sa depreciation, pwede kayong bumalik sa lesson natin ng depreciation sa FABM2. May video din tayo nun. Okay? Ano po yung carrying amount? If we deduct the balance of the asset versus the accumulated depreciation, that is your carrying amount. However, ang nire-report po natin sa face of the financial statements is the total. So, ang mangyayari, pag nag-report tayo ng property, plant, and equipment mamaya sa FS, in 2019, ganito gagawin natin. Total PPE for 2019 is 2,050,000, but the total accumulated depreciation is 105,000. So, sa FS natin, sa balance sheet, ang ating property, plant, and equipment is 1,945,000, which comes from 2,050,000 minus 105,000. For 2020 naman po, 3,630,000 less 218,000, that is 3,412,000. Okay? So, ito po yung i-report natin sa balance sheet. Pero, ginawan ko po ng calculation ng carrying amount kada property, plant, and equipment, which is asset balance minus accumulated depreciation. Okay? So, pag naintindihan nyo na tong property, plant, and equipment, it's the same way that we will be doing sa investment property. Okay? So, merong dalawang investment property yung company, which is investment property sa Bulacan at saka sa Pangasinan. Okay? So, ganun din po. Lahat ng balances nandito. Yun nga lang po, wala po tayong additions during 2020. So, wala po yan. So, as is lang siya. And then, ganun din po sa accumulated depreciation. Yung depreciation during 2019, lalagay mo dito. And then, yun na yung total. Tapos, add natin yung depreciation during 2020. Ito yung accumulated depreciation for 2020. Ganun din po. So, for 2019, 8 million yung investment property, pero may 200,000 na accumulated depreciation. The carrying amount of the investment property is 7,800,000. And for 2020, 8 million po, pero may accumulated depreciation of 400,000. Kaya ang carrying amount po, 7,600,000. Ito po ang ire-report natin sa balance sheet. Yung 7.6 tsaka yung 7.8. Okay, and then, diretso tayo ng liabilities. Kukunin nyo lang din po yung information sa trial balance for trade, accounts payable, and other payables. And then, accrued expenses po natin, which is salaries payable or accrued salaries, utilities payable, and interest payable. Okay, so yung mga susunod po dyan na liabilities like income tax payable or yung iba po dyan like long-term notes payable, pwede na po siyang stand-alone na hindi na po kailangan ng notes to FS. Pero depende po sa company kung paano po nila i-present yung kanilang other accounts and other information. Pagka po lahat ng notes related sa balance sheet ay tapos na, we proceed with step 8, which is the preparation of your comparative statement of financial position. Ganito po ang itsura niya, report form. Pero syempre, hindi nyo naman makikita pag ganyang kaliit. Isa-isahin natin. Ayan. Soul Street Company Statements of Financial Position for 2020 and 2019. Okay. Sir, saan po namin kukunin yung amounts niyan? Sa trial balance po ba? Hindi na. Kasi gumawa ka na ng notes to financial statements. So, kunyari, ilalagay mo na yung amount ng cash and cash equivalents. So, pupunta ka sa note number 3. Kung ano yung nireport mong cash and cash equivalents sa note number 3, yung total na lang ang ilalagay mo dito. Okay? So, if you will go back sa note number 3, yan yung totals ng ating notes to FS, which is cash, total cash of 5,909,500 for 2020 and 3,890,000 for 2019. Kung ano po yung totals sa notes to financial statements, yan na lang po ang ilalagay nyo sa face of the financial statement. Paano malalaman ni user kung ano po yung detalye nitong 5,909,500 na to? E di pupunta siya sa note number 3. Naintindihan nyo? Yun po ang purpose ng notes to financial statements. Ako yung user ng accounting information. Nakita ko tong company na to na ang cash niya noong 2019 ay 3,890,000. Paano ko malalaman kung ano yung components ng 3,890,000 na yan? E di pupunta ako sa note number 3. Ang guidance niya, yung note number 3. So, same procedure po. Gamitin ang total sa note number 4 para po sa trade and other receivables. For note number 5 is merchandise inventory. And for note number 6 is your prepayments and other current assets, which will give you total assets for 2020 na 10,349,500 and for 2019 na 8,390,000. Pagtapos ka na po sa current assets, diretso na po tayo sa non-current assets. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. Note number 7, kung titignan nyo yung note number 7, the carrying amount of the PPE is 3,412,000 for 2020 and 1,945,000 for 2019. Again, i-reference nyo siya sa note number 7. For note number 8 naman po, investment property. Noong 2020, 7,600,000 and then noong 2019, 7,800,000, which will give you total non-current assets of 11,012,000 for 2020 and 9,745,000 for 2019. Kunin nyo lang po itong dalawa, which is yung current assets nyo at saka yung inyong non-current assets, and your total assets would be computed. This is for your 2020 and this is for your 2019. Pagtapos na po kayo sa asset portion, pwede na po kayong dumiretso ng liabilities and capital. Current liabilities po muna tayo, which is your trade and other payables, which is referenced from note number 9, and then accrued expenses from note number 10. Okay? And then, meron pong separate na income tax payable na makikita nyo po sa trial balance, which is 978,900 for 2020 and 1,615,500 for 2019, which will give you total current liabilities for 2020 and for 2019. When you are done with your current liabilities, you proceed with your non-current liabilities. Kukunin nyo lang din po sa trial balance yung amounts niyan kasi wala po tayong notes para dyan. Standalone po sila. Okay? So, long-term notes payable is 900,000 for 2020, 500,000 for 2019, and then 200,000 other long-term liabilities for 2020, and still 200,000 siya nung nag-start ng 2019. Kunin nyo po yung non-current liabilities and then ganito po tayo. So, kung meron po kayong current liabilities at kung meron po kayong non-current liabilities, then you can get your total liabilities. Ito po yung 2020, ito yung 2019. Then, if you're done with your liabilities, when we can get your owner's equity. Saan po kukunin ito? Hindi na po sa trial balance. Saan na po? Sa statement of changes in equity. And then, this one din po sa statement of changes in equity. Okay? So, our total liabilities and capital, which should be equal with your total assets for 2020, is 21,361,500, and then for 2019 is 18,135,000. Yan po ang ating comparative statements of financial position. Step 9, analyze 2020 and 2019 balance sheets for cash flow information. So, balik kayo sa lesson natin ng cash flow. Actually, kakatapos lang natin yan. And remember the technique na tinuro ko sa inyo, which is kukuhanin nyo yung difference between 2020 and 2019 para ma-investigate nyo itong mga differences na ito. Tapos, i-reference nyo siya sa other information. Sir, paano po kami gagawa ng indirect method ng cash flow kung first year po ng company? Wala naman pong 2018 para pag-minus kami ng 2019 versus 2018. Okay? Ang gagawin nyo po kapag ka po first year ng company tas gagawa kayo ng cash flow, yung 2019, ima-minus nyo sa 0. Yun na yun. Ibig sabihin, yun na yung increase or decrease niya. Let's say for example, ang merchandise inventory during 2019 is 2,700,000. Automatically, sa 2019 na cash flow, increase in inventory, 2,700,000. Ganon siya. O, punta tayo dito sa accrued expenses. Noong 2019, nagkaroon daw ng accrued expenses na 170,000. Automatically, pag ginawa nyo ngayon yung cash flow sa 2019, increase in accrued expenses, 170,000. Kasi wala tayong basis ng previous year dahil unang taon ng company noong 2019. Pero pag ipe-prepare nyo na yung cash flow ng 2020, meron na kayong pwedeng ipag-minus 2020 versus 2019. Okay, so let's say for example, merchandise inventory during 2019 is 2,700,000. Naging 2,750,000 noong 2020. So this one minus this one becomes 50,000. Increase in inventory for 2020, 50,000 na lang. Okay? So, tinuro ko na sa inyo sa previous lesson kung paano i-analyze to. And makakatulong po sa pag-a-analyze nyo ng mga amounts na yan, syempre, yung binigay sa inyo sa handouts na other information. Tulad neto, noong 2019 daw na establishment ng company, cash investment na 9,300,000. Automatically, that will be part of your financing activities for 2019. Lahat daw po ng property, plant, and equipment at investment property ay binili through cash throughout the year. Okay? So, syempre, it will also be part of your investing activities. Okay? And then, borrowings made during 2019, 500,000 long-term notes, 200,000 other borrowings, and then meron pong interest accruals na nakarecord naman sa trial balance. Okay? Additional borrowings of 400,000 were made in 2020. So, yung mga borrowings po natin and long-term notes ay nire-report po natin din sa financing activities. And then, nagkaroon daw po ng additional land and furniture na binili noong 2020. So, cash payment din po yon. So, it will be part of the investing activities for 2020. Okay? So, malaking tulong po yung other information para ma-distinguish natin lahat din po ng cash flow information na kailangan nating i-present. So, our last step, syempre, is the preparation of the statement of cash flows for 2020 and 2019. Ayan. Pwede nang mag-CPA board exam, marunong nang mag-FS. Okay, so, we start with your cash flows for operating activities. Remember that we start always with your net income reported in your statement of comprehensive income. Add po natin lahat ng total depreciation expense. Okay? Remember po sa ating depreciation expense ay total po ha. Pero pwede nyo rin naman ng 8% ng sabay-sabay. Then, operating income before working capital changes. Tapos lahat po ng changes natin sa current assets and current liabilities. For example, pag ang receivable po ay nag-increase, mina-minus. Pero pag ang current asset naman po ay bumaba, ina-add natin. Pero kapag ka naman po ang current liabilities ay tumaas, ina-add natin. Pero pagka naman po ang ating current liabilities ay bumaba, mina-minus natin. So, remember po, yung ating ruling, i-apply nyo po yung tinuro kong ruling sa inyo sa pagpe-prepare po ng statement of cash flows particularly dun sa cash flows from operating activities. So your net cash flow from operating activities for 2020 should be 3,399,500, and for 2019 it should be 4,070,000. We proceed with your investing activities. Sabi po sa other information, lahat daw po ng assets during 2020, lahat binili through cash. Okay? So, lahat po yan ay investing activities. And then sa other information din po, bumili po ng land tsaka furniture na additional. So, syempre, yung ibang asset, naka-zero na. Kasi hindi naman natin sila binili noong 2020. Which will give you net cash flow from investing activities of negative 1,580,000 for 2020 and negative 10,050,000 for 2019. And then, this is your cash flows from financing activities. Long-term notes payable na additional na 400,000, and then withdrawals by the owner na 200,000. And then for 2019 po, ito yung 500,000 na notes, 200,000 na other borrowings na sinabi po sa other information, and then cash investment by the owner nung pag-start ng business noong 2019 na 9,300,000, and withdrawals noong 2019 na 130,000. So the net cash flow from financing activities for 2020 is 200,000, and for 2019 is 9,870,000. The net cash flow for 2019 is 3,890,000. So your cash at the end of the period should be 3,890,000 as well. Okay? And then net cash flow for 2020 is 2,019,500. Add po natin yung cash at the beginning of the period na 3,890,000. Saan po galing tong amount na to? Di ito kasi yung ending cash balance ng 2019, beginning cash balance ng 2020. Same procedure, okay? Pag-a-add nyo yung dalawa, 5,909,500. Now, again, sabi ko sa inyo, you will know that your statement of cash flow is correct when these amounts corresponds to your cash in the balance sheet. So, dapat yan din po yung cash na nakalagay po sa ating statement of financial position. And that's how you prepare the comparative statement of cash flows. Ayan, marunong na silang mag-financial statements. Siyempre, naiintindihan ko na mahirap namang intindihin yung problem ng pinapanood nyo lang sa video. So, I will give you another freebie. All of the financial statements that we discussed here, yung solutions po ay naka-PDF ang format. Okay? It's downloadable and the link is also available in the description box. So, para ma-practice nyo po siya ng maayos, i-print nyo po yung handout, i-print nyo rin po yung solution. Then, try to work on it on yourself para ma-practice nyo kung paano talaga mag-prepare ng comparative na financial statements. Okay. So, our next lesson is financial statement analysis. So, sa mga schools po na ang putol po ninyo is after financial statements, FS analysis na. So, baka sa inyo, this is already second quarter or the next quarter na. Okay? So, we will be dealing with analysis of financial statements using horizontal analysis, vertical analysis, and ratio analysis. Okay? So, again, please like and subscribe to Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. And for all of your questions, comments, and suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. For webinar and speakership invites, please send me a message at kevintroy.chua1994@gmail.com. This has been Sir Chua's Accounting Lessons PH. To God be all the glory, honor, and praise. Thank you, and have a great day.
유난히도 캄캄한다면 나 홀로 너를 생각하네. 이런 기분 설명할 수 없어. 원래 이맘쯤 너와의 여행을 생각했었는데 네가 좋아하던 와인과 선물을 준비했겠지. 기뻐할 너를 상상